Hi, this is Terrence Kommal. I'm currently on the way in our car, and we've just been fetched. It's about 4 p.m. On the 19th of January. I'm on the way to the airport for our flight to Davos. It's an amazing opportunity to be part of this entire delegation through YPO, and particularly the Leadership Development Network. And for those of you who are unaware, and I'm sure most of you are aware anyway, Davos is the host city of the World Economic Forum. But I also want to share that I also believed for a long time that it was only the World Economic Forum that took place at this time in Davos. The reality is that's untrue. There are hundreds of other events, some private, some public, many by invitation only, that reflect and utilize the opportunity of the various important business CEOs, the executives, the leaders, the heads of state, and other dignitaries and celebrities who will be in attendance, so that they can participate actively in the discussions and share their inputs and insights and willingness to cooperate in various areas, particularly the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I, for example, am attending an event, or two key events by invitation, one being the United Nations SDG, as an abbreviation for Sustainable Development Goals, as well as the YPO Leadership Conference that takes place on Thursday next week. For those who are unaware, YPO used to stand for the name of Young Presidents Organization, which is an international organization of more than 26,000 members of CEOs who lead significant businesses internationally, measured in US dollars, and who contribute significantly to their businesses, their peers, and the global economies. The new strategy, which is part of the engagement that YPO leaders and other leaders attending the UN and the WEF discussions, are going to center around sustainable business. To me, that discussion will include things like climate change, impact on stakeholders, and stakeholders, in my understanding, are not just those that have a direct interest in the business, region, country, or topic, but stakeholders who are affected and or impacted by those decisions. So, for example, mining businesses would have large impacts on global economies, on stock exchanges, on investments, on mining communities, their families, the families impacted by the mining, the countries to which those GDPs affected, and multitudes of other stakeholders, which are too many to mention briefly in this discussion. But I wanted to share that I'm super excited to be participating in this. Many of you who do attend these exclusive events will wonder why I'm sharing, but my understanding is there are less than potentially 3,000 invitees to the high security Davos city for this period during the World Economic Forum and the other events that are taking place consecutively and concurrently. But sharing that journey has very little exposure with many of my peers. I, for one, have looked through YouTube, Facebook, and various other social media platforms, trying to understand what is expected, how the events take place, what are the processes, and there's scant detail available. One, potentially because these events and the attendance and the processes are exclusive, and invitations are very strict and well controlled. But I do believe sharing this journey from the time I've just left home to the time I return could add immense value to not just create content around what is happened, and will happen at Davos, but also share the opportunities and the excitement, the people, and very simply, as Gary Vee puts, documenting the process of what exactly is happening within that journey. I'm not being sponsored by any corporate, I'm not funded by any government agency. I'm traveling at my own expense as my own investment to participate in these discussions and be in Davos for this period. And I think there could be potentially immense value participating in these conversations, being part of the conversations. I'm not sure what to expect. The only thing I'm 100% sure of is the weather forecast predicts the weather may get as cold as anything from -8 to -14. So one of the key things I've spent time on is togging up with adequately warm clothing, so things like snow boots, various other accessories, to make sure I can look as professional as possible in a suit, but still being warm as possible when I don't need to be in a suit, or also be warm whilst in the suit. So I think it is a great opportunity for you to share this journey with me, because I think there could be a lot of learning opportunities for all of us, and at worst, understanding and experiencing the journey through my eyes as we document it on the way to Davos and once I get there. So I look forward to sharing the rest of these conversations with you whilst I'm in Switzerland, in Davos, and the journey in between, and as many of the conversations as I have permission to share with you once I've consented and discussed those conversations with my peers. Take care. Bye-bye.